He's upset with Danny there, the ref. Can't be having that. An end-to-end thriller reminiscent of that 4-3 game at Anfield. Who would ever forget that in 1996? That was the one where Kevin just slumps over the advertising board. It was an amazing game, that. Both teams led at points in the game, but in the end the result range Liverpool slightly in at the top, with the gap now only 7 points. Salah was at the double, which now puts him atop the goal-scoring list in the Premier League on 13 goals. What a season he is having. His manager, Arne Slot, spoke after the game just about the man's brilliance.
2 goals, 1 assist, hit the bar. Was a constant threat in the last half hour. So the special thing about Mo is, and I haven't worked with many players that can play a first hour that he did, and then come up with an incredible last half hour. Where he definitely helped the team with goals, threats, assists. But I think it is, we should talk about Mo with 2 goals and an assist, but I think the whole team second half performance was much better.
Yeah, absolutely. To give us more, let's bring in a man that's played over 150 times for Liverpool, winning 2 titles with the club. Ray Houghton's joining us. Ray, how are you, pal?
Good morning, Ray.
Yeah, not too bad, boys.
Ray, I'll tell you what, mate, I was at Anfield for a Real Madrid game. I watched the Man City game. I watched the Newcastle game last night. I tell you what a watch they are.
They're absolutely brilliant at the moment, aren't they, Ali? They're never beaten in games. You know, when you look at them, Southampton away, you know, they're down in that match and somehow they find a way to get back to win it. Last night, I thought the first half they weren't at their best.
Yeah.
I think defensively they weren't quite coping with the way that Newcastle started. But then when they made the changes, and that's been a feature of Liverpool for the last, I think, couple of years, when they brought on the substitutes, they've had a real impact. And you've seen that when Alexander-Arnold came on last night. All of a sudden, the strikers are making better runs because they know they're going to get that forward pass, which they probably weren't getting before that. And you just heard from Arne Slot saying there about how influential Mo Salah was. Well, it's no coincidence it's when Alexander-Arnold's on the pitch, because he's making the runs now, because he's anticipating that the balls are going to be played through to him. But, you know, they're minutes away from getting all 3 points, and then Newcastle we've got to say it was a deserved equaliser. I mean, how Shah got the ball in from that angle, I still don't know. Mathematically, it's impossible. It's impossible mathematically. But it was unbelievable the way they done it. And probably, you know, it was the ending that the game deserved. You know, both teams gave absolutely everything for 90 minutes.
Right. I wanted to ask you about watching the game, because I was ticking over, but I got to watch a lot of the game. I thought Gomez and Kwanzaa at times struggled. A few mistakes defensively. You can tell you missed Trent and you missed Konate in that back line. But one player I want to ask you about is Núñez, because I like him, but is he starting to maybe frustrate a few Liverpool fans? Yesterday wasn't at his best. 2 goals and 1 assist in 11 Premier League games. Can he do better?
Yeah, I'm sure he'll be looking at Gabby as a striker. You'll know as well.
Yeah. He's
in the right positions, you know, but he's snatching at things, and that tells you he's a little bit anxious. Ali, you know that. You boys have played enough games, you know, where it's like inside the 18-yard box. You know, there was one where it fell to him on his left foot and he swung his boot at it, where if that was Mo Salah or someone, Gakpo was playing with a bit more confidence, they would have just stroked it in, whereas he sort of snatched at it, you know, and that was a problem for him. But I think that the Liverpool fans love his work rate. You know, if you go to the home games, Gabby, when he starts, the fans are always singing his name. They're certainly behind him. You know, and it's not through the fact that he's not trying. It's just that it's not quite coming off for him. I think maybe at times he's passing up responsibility. I think he's giving it to the other players because he's not confident enough himself, taking the chances. But his work rate's there for everyone to see. But all round, I think Joe Gomez. Look, Joe came on against Brighton a few weeks ago in the second half for Konate. He was absolutely outstanding. He had not a great deal to do on Sunday against Man City. He coped easily enough with that. Last night, he had a bit more work to do, and he looked a little bit rusty to me last night. And it didn't help when you've got another centre-half playing right back. No, Jarrell Kwanzaa is a centre-back. He's not a right back. And I think, you know, it's difficult for the kid. He's an up-and-coming talent. He's very good in possession of the ball, but he's not Alexander-Arnold. There's no one around like Alexander-Arnold who can have that vision, that awareness, that way to pass, who never feels like he's under pressure.
Also, when you've got a pest like Gordon running around you and doesn't stop, does he? He comes out of nowhere.
And all I would say with the Gordon goal, if you look at it again, if I was to say to you what foot is natural to Anthony Gordon, you'd say right all day long. you got to send him on his left. And what they allowed him to do was to check back on his right.
Yes.
Went too far. Instead of just slowing down and saying, right, I've got you here, I'm goal side here, I'm going to push you towards the byline. They allowed him to turn back and then get his shot away. And they're the little things that can be game-changing moments. But I've got to say, Liverpool this season just look a real threat. They look like they're going to score goals. I thought the second half, they upped their tempo. They were a lot more positive in possession of the ball. They passed the ball with a great deal more authority than they did in the first half. When I thought they were a little bit languid, a little bit against, like they were against Brighton, where they were off the pace a little bit. But as soon as they got in at half time, I'm sure the manager just said, step it up, pass it quicker. And they looked a different team in the second half.
Ray, I was going to say to you, mate, mentioned, and I know exactly where you're coming from, Núñez kind of snatching at things a little bit. One man who is not snatching at anything at this moment in time, by the way, has to be Mo Salah. In a club that has had some proper legends, some proper players over the years, Salah is in fire at this moment in time, Ray. What a watch he is.
Yeah, and you know the thing is, Ali, he's not an out-and-out centre forward. He's not playing in that central role where you're getting a lot of the balls coming into the box and you're in a central position and you may get a few tap-ins. I mean, some of the goals he's scoring is absolutely extraordinary.
Tremendous.
Amazing.
What about when you hit the crossbar? You know, that ability. I mean,
do you know what I feel sorry for, lads, though? Whoever's going to be negotiating his new contract, because it's going up and up.
Well, just look at his stats. I mean, 14 league games, 13 goals. You know what I mean? He's phenomenal. He looks in fantastic shape. I mean, he doesn't normally speak to the press, but he's been a bit vocal in the last couple of weeks, which is very unusual for him. Normally, he's quite a laid-back lad.
What do you think about it, Ray? The argument about you can't give him what he wants, and then the other argument is you can't let him go on a free. What would your say be? Give him the money, or
listen, he's fit as you like at the moment. He's playing out of his skin. He's a major player for Liverpool at the moment. I mean, I heard the rumours that he might only be looking for a 1-year extension to the contract. I mean, these are all sorts of rumours. We're not privy to, because it'll be between himself, his agent, and the football club what's going on. But everyone wants it, settled. They want him to be settled in himself and be up for whatever comes his way for Liverpool, because this season looks like it could be a very, very good season for Liverpool. I sort of disagree. I heard you earlier, Ali, when you were saying, like yesterday, you're talking up Liverpool. You're going to win the league. I've never seen it that way, I've got to be honest with you. I'm very much someone that they've only got yourself into a really good position.
Yeah.
You've still got to see it through. And I always said December's massive for Liverpool. In this month, they've got 7 league games, a Champions League game, and a Carabao Cup match. 9 games in 31 days. Wow. And they've already won and they've drawn 1. They've still got plenty of matches, and it really will be a test on the squad and the depth of the squad and how good it is. But so far, so good. Won everything in November, started December well. But come the 1st of January, I think we'll have a better indication, because we'll be up to halfway through the season. It'll be 19 league games, and that'll give us a better indication where Liverpool are.
Ray, not let me get carried away, is it? Brilliant to see you, pal. Hopefully see you soon.
Thank you.
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.